get someone with a stick for self-defense using your homemade self-defense walking stick. This is just a dowel rod I picked up from a local hardware store, 36 inches. This one happens to be 1.25 inches in diameter. You can see some of the links below, all the different options that you can get. Just get yourself some sandpaper and some oil that goes into wood, like wood furniture, and then you oil it up. That'll bring back the flexibility. That'll make this much stronger and heavier when you use it for self-defense. It'll last longer as a walking stick. Now you can train with this length of a dowel rod and then use a different walking stick. You might buy a nicer walking stick and use that for self-defense. But training with this 36-inch dowel rod, also known as a Japanese hanbo, will give you the skills of self-defense that you need using a homemade self-defense walking stick. First thing I want to see or have you do is put your hand in the middle and do a proper warm-up. This is to get blood into the joint, to keep yourself safe from injury. Now this workout was a direct request from one of my Patreon patrons, and so I wanted to make this. I do that every once in a while when you request something, whether you're a member here or on Patreon. I try to work them in when you ask for something specific. So if you have something you want to work on, let me know in the comments below and I'll try to make a video for you. Good morning, G. Carlton, good to see you. I'm going to go back and forth for 30 seconds, then you're going to put it in your other hand and do the same thing. And I have a new workout for you. This is specific to this request for this video, a new way to spin. Maybe you're going for a walk or a hike in the woods, or you're at your property and you want to do some extra spinning while you're carrying your homemade walking stick for self-defense, especially if you carry it for some wild animals. If you're down here in Florida. Hello, Patrick. It's good to see you. Patrick says it's warm and sunny in Slovakia finally. Nice to see it's warming up. But if you walk in where you are, there might be vicious animals, whether domestic or wild. You can use a homemade self-defense walking stick to defend yourself. I'm going to show you how to do that, but I want to show you one more way that you can practice getting better at handling your stick, and that's with a simple spin. This is going to be going from one hand into the other hand. Good morning, Tony. It's good to see you. This is something that you may be familiar with if you use other martial arts weapons like nunchucks, especially Kali sticks or Eskrima sticks. But it's a simple flow drill going from one hand into the next. I'm going to slow it way down so you can see all I'm doing is I'm coming here. You can add a spin if you want, but that opens your hand. I don't like when you take your hand off of it. I like you to keep your hand on it until it's in the other hand and then bring it over to the other side. So it's going from one side of your body to the other side of your body, in front of your body, and then you're going to progress this. You're going to make it a little bit more useful for self-defense by bringing it over your back and then taking it in front of your body and under your arm. You can see it's just parallel or perpendicular to the ground as I bring it from one side to the next. So the next time you go out walking, if you're walking for self-defense, you can carry it like this, or you can be walking like this, or if you want, you can give your arms a good workout, get your heart rate up a little bit, practice your flow drill going from one side to the other as you're walking through the woods or on your morning walk around the neighborhood or down the street as you're going to work, and then bring it up and behind your back, just from side to side. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So go slowly at first, take your time. When your shoulders start to feel it here, go back down in front of your body. Once your shoulders release a little bit of that tension, bring it up and back. You're gonna feel yourself getting stronger, faster. This is gonna help with your timing and distance. This is good conditioning for your overall strength and health, but it's also specific to this self-defense tool. It's going to make you better at hitting someone with a stick for self-defense using your homemade walking stick or your homemade self-defense walking stick. All right, so that's what I want you to add or incorporate into your training, your workouts. Now I want to show you how to use it for self-defense, how to employ it get it into a defensive position very quickly. If you're walking and it's in your hand for balance, take some of the weight off of your hip or your knee, whatever you're carrying it for, or you just want to have a gray man option. Good morning, Gloria, it's good to see you. This is called a gray man, gray woman option because it blends in with your surroundings, especially if it's just a simple walking stick and not just a piece of wood. But like I said, train with the wood, you'll know what to do with a walking stick. From this position, there are two ways you get it into a self-defense position. The first way is going to be sliding your hand down the back. And you can see that from here, your hand simply slides down to here. Then your hands are up, you put it between you and the threat. We'll call this the threat. So I'm here, I'm walking, I just get it up very quickly. Slide my hand down the front, it's up, back up, you're too close. I can use this hand to press, use this elbow to strike. I can use this part to strike. I can put it in the back hand and strike here, sliding down, striking here, or over the top. You can pull it into your chest and blast them for self-defense, pushing straight through the middle of his body for self-defense, and you start it here. So from here, practice, slide your hand down, pick it up, put it between you and the threat. Give a verbal command. Back up, you're too close. Don't come any closer. Then if you have to, this first thrusting motion. Now, it's been pointed out to me many times that when you thrust here, it doesn't feel as strong as when you thrust here. That's correct. That is correct. It's not gonna feel as strong. And you have to remember, this hard piece of wood is aiming at teeth, nose, throat, eyes, soft tissue, fleshy parts of the body for self-defense. And it doesn't have to be super strong, just enough to back him up a little bit or to stop his forward attack, especially if he's pulling on a weapon. So you're gonna put this here. That gives you enough time to get the other hand onto it so that you can do that strike and this strike and this strike and this strike, or down here, or lift it up and bring it through, bring it down to the other side. Use two hands like a push-up position, pushing this way. All of those things happen after you immediately address the threat by pushing straight in. So practice your thrusting motion and then put it in the other hand and continue practicing your strikes. So let's talk about some basic strikes. Number one, thrust. Number two, an angular chopping motion. And notice that your hands are going to be apart. If you bring your hands together like a baseball bat, yes, you can hit hard. And if you miss, you're going to lose control of it. So it's better to bring your hands apart, finish the strike here, and leave a little bit, about a hand width between the two, so that you can continue to defend yourself sword style with your hands like this, Japanese sword style. So the first way, down here, thrust, put your other hand on it, practice those angular strikes coming from one side of the body to the other side of the body, always in front of you. Practice horizontal strikes coming through one side and the other one. Practice vertical strikes, just like a sword. I want to get my elbows in, the katana pops in my head, and I think, oh, I got to get my elbows straight. Or your shinai, your kendo sword. Practice those basic motions, all starting here in this position. Number two, the second way you're going to employ the stick when you have to hit somebody with a stick for self-defense using your homemade self-defense walking stick, is your hand's going to slide down the front. So from here, down to here. From here, your hand goes down the front, and then you simply pick it up and point it at him. Same thing as before. The other hand's up, you give the verbal command, you're too close, you can immediately thrust, the other hand comes on it. Now you have two hands. Do a second thrust so that you're pushing through here. Hello, John, it's good to see you. So from here, my hand's here, I slide down the front, I pick it up and thrust. If I have to immediately address the threat, the second hand, pushing. Here's that angular strikes coming down the middle, horizontal strikes. Practice those basic techniques. Always practice this two-hand push. And you said, but your hands are split. It's not as strong as if it were like this. Trust me, it's super strong in this position. And when this hits nose, teeth, throat, you're gonna ask yourself that question for self-defense. What can you remove or destroy? That's a principle of self-defense that you have to use with any self-defense tool, whether it's your hands, your arms, and your feet for self-defense, or if you're using a homemade walking stick for self-defense. What can you remove or destroy with your self-defense tool? His ability to see you or breathe temporarily or permanently, his ability to stand up and breathe, his ability to breathe, right? Coming through the ribs, coming through his arm, his ability to punch you or grab you or pull you or stab you with his knife, smashing through that arm. So you have all of those options after you ask yourself the question, what do you remove or destroy for self-defense? So from here, sliding down the front, pick it up. Now it's in two hands. Immediately employ it in self-defense. Collie sticks are great. Hi, Awkward the Cat. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you. So you have sliding down the back. You have sliding down the front. And then you have just carrying it in the middle. You'll carry it like this a lot of times, especially if you don't want to look like you need a walking stick because maybe your ego gets in the way or it's your pride or you just don't feel like it. You can carry it like this. There's a gentleman in my neighborhood. He's a retired policeman in his 70s. He carries something that looks exactly like this. I saw it up close. It's a police riot baton that he carried years and years ago when he was a policeman. He's a policeman for 40 some years, I think he said. But he still carries it like this. He probably could carry it like this and no one would say anything because of his age. But he's in great health. He's physically strong. He carries it like this. And he carries it for self-defense. We have, right, especially right now, it's gator mating season. Every once in a while there are gators. Hello, David. David's in Foley, Alabama. It's good to see you, David. David, I don't know if you've got gators where you are in Alabama, but most likely, right? So they all come out of the lakes, they come out of the rivers right now, and they're in the backyards, they're between the houses. He's got the little dogs. He's got his gator protection device, right? If he has to hit a wild animal for self-defense using his homemade walking stick, which in his case is actually a police baton, but it's exactly the same length, same material, just a little fancier. It's got a couple little features that this doesn't. It works the same way. There's thrusting, right? There's pushing, there's chopping. In this case, you can use one hand striking down. You can use two hands striking down if it's a wild animal or a vicious animal. But it works on the same basic principles. One hand is strong and fast to immediately use it. If you have it like this, you can turn your palm up, you can turn your palm down. The palm holding your walking stick, if you turn it like this, your hands will be in a split grip, kind of like a sword. You can hold it like that. If you turn your hand over, then your palms are facing down, and it'll be like a push-up grip. From here, using two hands, just like you would a rifle bayonet attack or a rifle butt strike, using two hands to push through, you can still do all of those same chopping, striking techniques, and you can extend the length away from you simply by sliding one hand through the next. That's one of the greatest things about using the Hanbo or the Redondo strikes, awesome, and the figure eights. But using the walking stick for self-defense, the homemade walking stick or the Japanese Hanbo for self-defense, if you look at it, unlike a sword, you can grab it anywhere, right? There are no sharp edges. And if you've sanded it right, you want to keep it sanded and oiled, then there aren't going to be any splinters. You can practice, these are also practicing, you can practice your strikes using this basic technique. Striking here, and striking here. But I wanted you to add those in there. Oh, I missed that last comment. I wanted you to add this in here on your walk. If you're taking this for a walk today, or you're just doing your training in the garage, in the backyard, in the hallway, in your living room, wherever, in the dojo, wherever you're training today, add this basic flow drill. See how fast you can get, how smooth you can get. And this is the reverse. Of course, you can go forward, but go backward first. Go from one side to the other. This is actually stronger than going forward. And then bring it up and behind the shoulder. It's easier too. It's easier on the brain for some reason than going forward. There we go. That's good. That's a good flexibility drill. That's the same as this, but just in reverse. So practice this drill before and maybe after you practice your strikes today. Let's review one more time. From here, down the back, thrust, getting the other hand, two hand, strike from the shoulders, thrust from here, down over the top, strike from one side to the next, change your levels, go down, maybe go for the legs for self-defense, or if it's that wild animal, vicious animal. Maybe it's I saw 3 stories of pit bull maulings this weekend. Maybe it's that vicious animal, which is bred to be vicious. And even though I know a lot of people disagree and say, you know, it's the owner, it's how they're treated, which it may be, I don't know. But the fact is, I keep reading a lot of stories about them. Oh, good. So Tomas asks, if the bad guy, threat, thug, punk, criminal has a knife, should you try to disarm the knife? Never. Never go for the knife. Always go for the operating system. Always first. There's too much threat that if you miss that knife and he closes that distance and he sticks that in you and he can stab you multiple times and lacerate and slice you so many times before you even get an opportunity for a second strike. So if you only have one shot, make it count, right? Go right through his operating system. If you can knock him out, you don't have to worry about the knife. Also, if you're striking to his face, his head determines where his body goes. If you can control the head, you can control the face or the body. If you control the head, you control the body. That's general principle of martial arts self-defense, is that if it takes someone's, and that's why you see police officers so much. When they take someone to the ground, they have to aggressively, they take him down by the head. They shove the head onto the hood of the car. Hello, Doug. Doug, your gift came today. Thank you so much. I'm going to practice with it a little bit, and then we'll make a video with it. So far, I love it. The Purple Heart Armory walking stick. But, Doug's retired law enforcement. He'll tell you, if you control the head, you control the body, right? So if someone's got a knife, they pull that knife on you, and you try to strike the knife, and you miss, and he stabs that in you over and over, you don't get a second shot. So instead, with that knife, always keep the stick, which is going to be longer than that knife by a lot. You have reach advantage, keep that between you and him, and then thrust, right? Going in through the center line of his body, and don't even aim for the face yet. Aim for the throat, aim for the solar plexus, aim for the groin, aim for the chin, the teeth, the nose, anywhere in the center of his body. Namaste, Sandud, good to see you. Yeah, just like a horse, Doug says. If I strike his head with big force, is 100% chance he gets knocked out? No, it's not. It's not 100% chance. But again, if you can go for the face, go for the throat. Hello, Sensei Emmett. With your first strike, Sensei Emmett, what we're saying is the guy's got a knife, right? Do you go for the knife and try to knock it out of his hand, or smash it out of his hand, or parry or block, or you go right through his face? And I'm saying go through the face. If you can stop his forward advance, even if it doesn't knock him out with the first strike, you thrust, and that stops him from, he can't come in if his head doesn't come in. Bring it in here, and then bring it to your shoulder, and strike. Multiple times, right? And thrust a few more times, and try to clear him out. Clear that distance. Bearded gentleman, hello, it's good to see you. So the answer is, if he has a knife, no, don't try to disarm him, go for the face. And this is a constant comment that I see on this channel, which is and disclaimer. Let me give a disclaimer, legal disclaimer. Don't hit anybody with your weapon for self-defense out of anger or frustration because you're a bad guy. Only defend yourself and defend your life if you have to. So this is for self-defense only. And I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not giving any legal advice, and I'm not trying to help you interpret any laws. What I'm saying is, if the knife's coming at you, and in that moment, stick it in through the face. Try to, as Sensei Emmett says, a car can't drive without an engine, right? So yes, don't take out the car's tires. Doug will tell you too, you can't, police officers, people will say, well, why didn't they just shoot out their tires? It doesn't work like that. You can't shoot out the tire. Why don't they just shoot the engine? It doesn't work like that. You know where the police officer tries to stop the car that's getting ready to run over a bunch of innocent people? The driver. And where on the driver, right? Usually it's center line double tap. So center line going straight through. Try to stay light on your feet, try to hit his hands. If it's your life or his life, if this is life and death, again, legal disclaimer, I'm not giving you any legal advice. I don't have any for you. I don't know the laws. I don't know the laws where you are. All I know is for self-defense, if it's a knife, he's coming at you, or multiple attackers, or skateboard, or he's got a big chunk of concrete, his intention is not to just intimidate. His intention is to kill you, to hurt you, to take something from you. Use your stick for self-defense and go for the center of his body. That's the first rule. Second rule, if you can, go for the face. What can you remove or destroy? His brain, his ability to be awake and to use that weapon against you. If you can, take that out first with multiple attacks. And it's not one and done. It's some vicious, ferocious, over and over strikes. Maybe blasting with two hands. And it's not 100% guaranteed that you're going to knock him out. But if you hit that face a couple times with this, and he's trying to come in and get you with this, it's got to slow him down at least. Probably stop him, probably knock him back. He's not going to be able to walk through it. That's the whole goal. But if you try to be light on your feet and sidestep and do all this, it happens so quickly. And Doug will tell you as a police officer, it happens so fast, this violent assault. And you think that you're going to step over here and smash, and before you know it, he's closed the distance, especially if he's a practiced criminal. He's been in the penitentiary. He's done this many times. He's used to taking shots. He's used to taking hits and still closing the gap. And they know all they have to do is close the distance. And if they are in, and they can stab you so many times in a matter of seconds. And that could be all it takes, that you can't recover from that. So instead of trying to be light on your feet, and I do like to sidestep. I like to teach all of these sidestep moves and all this quick stuff. But you've got to get out of the mindset that that when it's life or death, when a knife or a weapon or a much bigger person or multiple people, or you're fearing for your life, and it's life and death, and again, not legal advice, then you have to defend yourself with the most simple, brutal, violent thing that you've got, which is just direct strikes, right? And not some movie style, fancy, and you see them all the time. You see these different styles of martial arts that teach knife disarms and how to do takedowns and rolls and stuff. That's not what happens in a real fight. What happens in a real fight, not fight, not a street fight, not a cage fight, but a life and death, someone's trying to use violence against you, you use violence against them. You're not going to get into it's not a parry and block situation. It's not a, grab the hand, turn wrist. I mean, all of the things that I've practiced for 40 years now, they do work, but they work here in the dojo really well on padded floors with a partner who's doing exactly what I told him to do. Okay, you throw the punch like this, or you come at me like this. Even when we do like grappling, or we do boxing, we do Muay Thai, even when there's a knockout involved, even when it's more fighting, Sandude says, offense is good defense. Be the first mover. Hit him before he hits you. All of that stuff that we teach for martial arts and for boxing and stuff, that's all good stuff. It all works, but there are always rules involved. Study Jukindo, the way of the bayonet. There's nothing fancy there. We're not going to spend time doing anything for self-defense. This is how to hit somebody with a stick for self-defense using your self-defense, homemade self-defense walking stick. It's not the art of the Japanese hanbo. It's not the Okinawan hanbo. It's not the ninjutsu style. It's not the kobudo style. It's a big stick and stick it in his face and smash him in the brain for self-defense. Legal disclaimer, that's not legal advice. That's for staying alive, right? And then there's the saying, I'd rather be judged by a jury of 12 than carried by, judged by 12 than carried by 6. The idea that you're in a coffin because you were standing there saying, well, in my state, I'm not allowed to use a stick. And what's the judge going to say when he finds out that, I had this stick and I had learned some self-defense with it, and then he sliced you all up and you're dead and you're on the ground? That's just such a stupid argument to me. I have to say it that way. I don't know any other way to say it. And no, that's not legal advice. There's no legal advice in there. It's life or death. And I believe it's your God-given right. And I believe that men can make laws that punish you, the law-abiding citizen, and will advantage the criminal. And we see them right now in the news every single day in these big cities where they have these liberal DAs who are letting these guys out, and then they have 20, 30 those are not exaggerated numbers. 20 or 30 real violent assaults against someone in the community. And then they finally do one where they kill somebody, and it's enough to get them thrown in jail for a little bit longer, and sometimes not even that, and then they let them still go out. And it's ridiculous. Yeah, tried by 12 or carried by 6. Right, and so Sand Dune says must have skill and training. Now, back to the question of, the footwork, fancy footwork, the parry and block, and try to strike his hands and hit the hand that's carrying the knife. Again, you miss that hand and he closes the gap, you don't get a second shot maybe. Instead, always go for the center of the body. Always go for that face. Now, if you happen to be backing up and the hand's coming in, it's all right if you strike that hand and then come back to the top of the head. That's okay. I'm not saying don't do it, because that might be the best target that you strike. When you ask that question, what target can I remove or destroy? The arm that's carrying the knife, right? Maybe you smash that first and then you come back for the next self-defense strike using your homemade self-defense walking stick. And that might work. So there's no black and white here. There's no always and do. You must, if this happens, you must do that. It's such a dynamic situation that who knows? You must live, you must survive, you must keep fighting. You don't stop fighting till the fight's over and you go home and you're safe, right? First rule of self-defense is situational awareness. Those are hard and fast, those are black and white. Second is get in a better position, put the stick between you and him if you can. From here to here, your hand slides down the front or slides down the back, right? Or you're carrying it like this, turn it over, get it in front of you, or turn it here, push it in front of you, however you can get, that's a rule. Number 3, take a deep breath. That helps you center. That takes a little bit of the edge off, but you should be afraid. You should be nervous. And then say, and Doug says if he's charging you, you got to drop him. You don't know what he's got in his hand, by the way. If he's, and this is not a stretch, right? The majority of violent assaults against men and women, 90%, over 90% happen from somebody you know, right? And those are hard to defend against because there are several gray lines that they cross. Several times you should have said, hey, this is an unhealthy relationship, and you get out of there if you can. But, and the thing, what we're talking about is you're minding your own business, you're walking down the street, you see an obvious threat. If you can, cross the street. If you can, go back the other way. If you can, hide somewhere until the threat passes. Run, hide, or fight. If it comes to number 3, then, like Doug said, if he charges, you drop him. And you don't wait until he's so close that your strike is ineffective. You try to go as soon as you can, right? And if you can, hit him before he hits you. If he's got a knife and it's this long and you've got a 36-inch piece of oak, stick that piece of oak through his face and stop him. Keep him that far away instead of this close where now your body's blocking the knife, and that doesn't work, right? But do what you can. And again, not legal advice. I don't know the laws where you are, and even if I did, I wouldn't give you, I'm not a lawyer. I don't have any legal advice for you. All I'm saying is if you want to learn how to hit somebody with a stick for self-defense using your homemade self-defense walking stick, and I say all that. I know someone asked me, why do you say those things? It's all for the algorithm, right? I want the algorithm to hear that so they know how to put it into the right feed for somebody who's looking for how to hit somebody with a stick for self-defense using a homemade walking stick. Put the stick between you and him and then push him back. All right, so that's all I've got for you with this one, except I wanted you to add this mobility drill. This is gonna help your wrists. Go super slow-mo. You're going from one side of your body to the other side. Your hand goes palm up on the top of your forearm. This one lets go, and you bring it over to the same side and the top. Yeah, Kia if you can. And then once you get this, and you can walk down the street doing this, then go back here. And someone might think, what's that guy doing? What's that girl doing walking down the street, swinging that stick? Who cares what they think? Honestly, who cares, right? All that matters is what you think. Remember that. Next time you find yourself worrying about what someone else thinks, stop. All that matters is what you think. So practice that, get your heart rate up. That'll make you leaner, stronger, healthier, better flexibility, better timing and distance. All your strikes will be much better.